No. Oh, where are we? Is this where, I think this is when Yumi goes back to Ishtar's apartment. Yeah. I gently place the crystal ball onto the tile and fill the tub with hot water. And I strap my clothes in the dressing room. The only thing left on my body is the rosary hanging around my neck. This way, One-sama will protect me. Something feels out of place. With this body of mine, actually it feels like it's been forever since I last got a good look at myself. But still, something feels strange. Was my body always like this? It feels like it's been reduced to skin and bones. No idea these legs had gotten so slender, and this back is quite bony. Oh, I'm getting thin, aren't I? Almost clinically anorexic. Ugh. And how come my chest is the only healthy looking part of my body? These things are such a pain in the neck. Literally. How does everyone else deal with it all the time? Though all things considered, Elle and Magdalene didn't seem like they'd have this sort of problem at all. It's probably easy once you get the hang of it. Theirs always seemed to be snug. Seems like it'd be nice. So nice. If only One-sama were here to give me some advice. I carefully wait for the proper timing. If another lunar eclipse were to occur, I can't help but feel that something bad will happen.
まあいいや。これ以上考えたって結論なんて出ないよ。きっと。
So let's switch the focus to something more pertinent. I close the eclipse video, close the live cam, and bring up the browser window with the research information to the foreground. Yeah. I then connect my biocomputer to the net. My body soaks into cyberspace. There lies information on Code's centerpiece, their headquarters, aka the core. I found that highly encrypted information with extreme ease. After all, I already know the method to access that data. To be more accurate, the method was in the memory I already had. Though of course, the me of the present isn't part of Code yet, and therefore lacks access permissions. But there's a simple way around that, masquerading as someone with those permissions. Which I do, granting me all the data as a result. And thus the information is all mine. I glanced through it immediately. All in all, the content was basically this. The core. As its name suggests, it's the headquarters to the organization known as Code, the centerpiece of Babylon, the data center where the main server is located. Furthermore, it's the site of He's final target. Surprisingly, it's located in this nation's center of politics and economics. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Shinjuku Subcenter, Tokyo, the real-world Babylon. To be precise, it's located at the de facto symbol of Shinjuku, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building. Floors, 48 stories, 3 basement levels. Height, 243.4 meters. Building area, 11,042 square meters. Lot area, 14,360 square meters. The core sits deep underground beneath that behemoth of an office building. That all said, it's not like the core belonged to Code to begin with. The Tokyo government office and the core were completed around 1991, albeit under different names. Code did not exist at that point. It's already been almost 50 years since the building was completed. But even after countless repairs and additions, the fundamental sections have remained largely unchanged. And that building actually has a top-secret mystery floor, a secret 4th basement level. At an extreme depth, 50 meters below the surface of the Earth. At the time of its construction, that floor was built as an underground shelter. Basically, it's official. purpose was to be a facility for accommodating VIPs if worst came to worst. Of course, no official documentation of this floor remains. The floor was constructed by a general contractor affiliated with the Exarch Group, Arch Construction. Exarch, conspiring with contemporary politicians and bureaucrats of the time, secretly planned to establish a secure shelter deep underneath the government-built office building, and apparently partially forced the affiliated construction company to undertake construction. A deep-depth basement, 50 meters under the Earth's surface. During the economic bubble about 50 years ago, the so-called geofront idea was apparently conceived as a solution to the problems of urban overcrowding and sudden explosive rise in land values. Furthermore, advances in rock mechanics and excavation technology have brought us to an era where a geofront has become a feasible possibility. But due to the huge energy costs necessary for livability, questions of emergency response in case of fire or other emergencies, as well as the environmental problems of life underground, compounded with the potential psychological problems that the underground dwellers, the so-called mole people, would face, rumors say that the project did not proceed well due to all these issues and more. Afterwards, despite ideas to downsize the project to just be a new logistics base, or an emergency energy reserve, or perhaps even a waste treatment center, years passed with the project at a complete standstill, neither fading nor advancing. And now, more recently, a new project has popped up, the Mega Geofront Project. An unthinkably grandiose plan to construct an underground city 100 meters below the surface of the Earth, projected to have large-scale development soon. The expected date of completion is in 2050, fairly far into the future, but the project is steadily advancing with Exarch at its helm. That's right, the project's driving force, its commander-in-chief, is none other than Exarch. This is only conjecture, but the true reason for building such a deep underground shelter underneath the Tokyo government office was to collect data for eventual use in this project, in what is possibly one of the grandest experiments ever to tap into the coffers of the national budget. Through these long years, the number of people who knew about the shelter has dwindled to negligible numbers. Even if any do remain, it's most likely none of them would be able to enter. Since it was originally meant to be a special VIP access restricted floor, it has strict security with a lengthy and rigorous entry system. And thus the floor has apparently been left gathering dust for an extended period of time without being used by the government or even by its administrators at Exarch. 2029 AD, the administrators at Exarch begin work on a new experiment. Field testing of their prototype quantum computer. The prototype had been granted to the hacker group, Anunnaki, who managed the already popular at the time MMORPG Babylon. Anunnaki desired the tremendous capital and the cutting-edge computer necessary to maintain the ever-expanding Babylon, both of which Exarch had generously furnished to Anunnaki on the condition that Anunnaki provide their data as well as a system monopoly. And that was when the Geofront's underground shelter was presented as a lab for the quantum computer Marduk. This present was apparently given as an act of generosity, but in reality it was something more of a cover-up. Exarch did not wish to attract attention to their prototype quantum computer's existence, much less its experimentation, and so the hidden shelter was used for the first time after nearly 40 years, but it wouldn't remain in use for long, because 1 year later Exarch pulled out of Babylon. That was the trigger that demolished Anunnaki. The floor was left masterless once more. Babylon too was down, but not for the count. The free organization EDOC arose from the ashes of Anunnaki, and so management continued with a new name and form. The shelter was repurposed as well. It transformed from an Exarch research lab to a command center, headquarters of the true site of EDOC, Code. The hidden shelter then became known as their core, which, as the name suggests, means it became the core, the center, the nucleus of Code. I just have one question. How did Exarch let them do this? A total of 2 entrances to this floor exist. The forbidden door underneath the Tokyo government office, and another underneath Higashi Shinjuku, the shopping center, or the shopping area. However, due to the nature of the Tokyo government office, the entrance underneath rarely sees use. Code exclusively used the Higashi Shinjuku entrance on the opposite side. Code most likely plans to use the forbidden door during acts of terrorism. But as previously mentioned, that entrance's security is severely strict. Furthermore, ever since management fell into Code's hands, Enlil has improved on security, making it all the more severe. Biometrics recognition. Code members with access permission use their own biological aspects as keys. Anyone not cleared for access cannot step 1 foot inside. The facility's origins as a shelter give it structure and stability, unconditionally ruling out all possibilities of a physical invasion. However, an invasion through the net may still be possible. Granted, that would still require penetrating military-grade security.
なるほどね。
As I scan through the gist of the information, I indulge myself in thought. I have no interest in a net invasion. My objective is to stop He, and He's objective is to rescue Sin from the depths of the core. He most likely plans a physical invasion, even if it means confronting Enlil, which means I have no choice but to follow suit.
私なら入れるだろうか。
To get into this core of theirs. Of course I can get in, that much is certain. But getting in is meaningless by itself. My top priority is preventing He from killing Enlil. The next is to guide He into the depths of the core. Can I do that? Will the world, will history, accept that revision? Will our planned revisions to the past even give rise to the future we desire? This world is a world ravaged by terrorism, a world of chaos. Can this world be returned to normalcy? Can we return to normalcy? The media has condemned this situation as a nightmare sparked by the 100th monkey phenomenon. Like a curse born from the accumulated fear and hatred of all people.
けど、だからこそ、なんとかなるのかもしれない。
If endless terrorism gave birth to fear, and that fear sparked the current chaos, then if we can turn around and bestow the hope to suppress that fear, the hope to wash that fear away, couldn't we fight fire with fire and nullify the curse? Can't the 100th monkey be the savior of the world? I log out upon noticing the buzzing bug wings. The sound of buzzing bug wings. Over to the right, at the source of the sound, flies a small insect. No, it's not an insect, it's a bug. A small metal lump, a small drone I've seen once before. Someone's watching me. Geez, whoever you are, could you be any more indecent? I ignore the drone once again and begin to call Andras through the computer terminal. To invade the core, I need the guidance of a code member. Plus, I'd also like to know what actions they're taking.
やっほー、元気？
なんだよ。誰かと思えばお前かよ。
なんだか嫌そう。
事実嫌なんだから当たり前だろ。
むか、失礼ね。そんなこと言ってるとヒーに通報するわよ。
おっかねえ野郎かよ。そいつは勘弁。なんでお前があいつとコンタクト取れるんだよ。
たく、ほんの軽いジョークなのに真に受け止めないでよ。つまんないやつ。で、そっちの方で何か分かったことない？レムちゃんと会えたとか。
いや、こっちは相変わらず進展なしだが。
そう。ねえ、ちゃんと仕事してんの？全然頼りになんないな。
勝手に巻き込んでおいて、その言い草はなんだよ。
あ、男のくせに解消ないわね。それでもあなた、真の名前を冠する人間？完全に名前負けしてるわよ。
なんだと？
やる気？相手になってやるわよ。
I take up a fighting pose, but that very instant... What was that sound? Did someone kick that empty can to the floor? I didn't do it. Obviously Andras didn't either. Then who kicked the can? This sounds familiar. If you know a certain Infinity visual novel, in the Infinity trilogy, I mean, then this will sound familiar. But anyway, who kicked the can? Wait, how could an unidentified person get this close in the first place? First that time with Lemchot, and now with what just happened. Full moon days really do seem to throw off our real space capabilities. Huh? A girl? And one whose voice I don't even recognize. Finally, a figure steps hesitantly out of the darkness. A shy little girl who appears to be in middle school. Well, that's an interesting turn of events.